Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you even went in there in the first place? Or maybe you're starting to get a little concerned about the fact that you may have dementia or even Alzheimer's because your brain just doesn't feel clear. Or perhaps you're talking to your friend and you're looking at them and you know their name, but poof, it's just not there. If you're experiencing any one of these things, it's not a part of aging, it's not normal, and it's not just in your head. See what we did there? Hi, I'm Anna. I'm a functional medicine nurse practitioner, and I've helped hundreds of women get to the root cause of why they're experiencing some cognitive decline, some memory issues, as well as some fogginess and forgetfulness. Today, I'm breaking down the 4 reasons why your brain just isn't working at the level that it should be at this stage, and what are some things that we can do to help support it. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what steps you need to take to get that mental clarity back. So let's dive right in. The number 1 reason is hormone imbalance. During the ages of 40 to 50, we're having a lot of hormonal shifts. Our progesterone starts to decline first, which is our calming and relaxation hormone. So not only does that impact your mental health, but it also has an influence on your sleep quality. Poor quality sleep, more brain fog. On top of that, you've also got estrogen that's just all over the place. Some days it's high, some days it's low. It's fluctuating rapidly during those years of life. And during that time, it's impacting your inflammation markers, as well as how your body breaks down glucose or sugar. And so again, further contributing to more brain fog. So when we're looking at addressing brain fog, it's not about just an isolated hormone. It's about looking at all of your hormones to ensure that everything is balanced in where it needs to be to keep your mental clarity sharp. The second reason for brain fog is going to be thyroid imbalance. Now, you may have had labs collected with your PCP and they said your thyroid looked great. A lot of conventional practitioners only look at one thyroid marker and not all of your thyroid markers. And because we know that this stage of life for women is extremely stressful, stress has an impact on your thyroid. And a lot of times the reference ranges that you're getting with your PCP, they're very broad. And so thyroid dysfunction isn't necessarily caught at an earlier stage. When the thyroid is stressed, it can become sluggish. Not only is that going to impact your energy levels, your sleep quality, but it's also going to have an effect on how your brain processes information. Hence, how it can contribute to brain fog as well. Now, here's the part that can get really tricky and frustrating. Women are most vulnerable when it comes to developing Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune disease that attacks the thyroid during this stage of life. And the reason for that is because your body is stressed, it's inflamed, and it can freak out your immune system. And so the body gets confused and it starts attacking itself. Most conventional practitioners or PCPs never look at thyroid antibodies. And so women can be walking around for years or decades with this underlying condition that they don't even know about. And the side effects are the same. Even if your regular thyroid hormones look normal, you will have sluggishness, the brain fog, the issues with sleep, weight gain, etc. But when I evaluate thyroid hormones, I want to look at the full picture. So we're going to look at everything, how your thyroid is functioning, if it's inflamed, is it making enough hormones? Are there any autoimmune markers that are considered a red flag here as well? All of these lab markers, if there's any fluctuation, can contribute to brain fog, even if all of your other labs look normal. Reason number 3, nutrient deficiencies. Now, most people wouldn't even think about this one, but when you've got underlying deficiencies that are not being tested for, this can also contribute to brain fog. Especially during this phase of life, a lot of women are having issues with digestion. Everything starts to slow down. You start to have some more bloating, more constipation. All of that leads to inflammation in your gut lining, which affects how your body absorbs all of those vitamins and minerals that you're getting in your food. And here are some other things that may be going on. In addition to the stress, if there are years of poor dieting, high inflammation in your food, antibiotic usage, if there was a usage of birth control in the past as well, chronic inflammation in the gut, all of that is going to further affect how you absorb those vitamins and minerals. So even if you're eating all the right foods, if your gut can't break down those foods very well, and your gut lining is too inflamed to actually absorb those vitamins and minerals, you're essentially malnourished, and that is absolutely going to be starving your brain of the nutrients that it needs to function at full capacity. To give you an example of some of the vitamins that I'd be looking at, I would want to look at your B12 and folate markers, your vitamin D, your magnesium, your iron and ferritin levels to ensure that these are where they need to be to properly support your brain function. Now, you might be thinking, but Anna, my doctor looked at my vitamin D and it looked absolutely fine. Remember the reference ranges with your primary practitioner. They're very broad. If you look at that, it can be normal all the way down here, but also all the way up here. These reference ranges are based on a sick person. I don't want you sick. I want you at 100%. And oftentimes that reference range narrows significantly, and this is your sweet spot that you need that number at. And that brings me to the fourth potential cause behind your brain fog, and that does relate back to your gut lining health. It can be due to something called leaky gut. Now, you may have heard of the term leaky gut, but aren't really familiar with what that is. Your gut lining is so thin, it's one cell thick, which is about the sheet of a piece of paper. That's pretty thin. So if there's any inflammation happening in that gut lining, it doesn't take much for it to become a little more permeable. Essentially what that means is your healthy gut lining, as it becomes inflamed, it becomes more porous. And so what happens is you've got all of those toxins that normally would leave the body through a bowel movement, they're getting reabsorbed into your bloodstream, and those toxins now are getting circulated throughout your entire body. And so essentially, the environment is becoming toxic. And when the brain has toxins in it, it becomes more inflamed. It affects how the neurons transmit messages to one another, how it sends signals to your organs. And so essentially, it can also contribute to brain fog. Now, many of my clients tell me, I don't have any digestive issues. I'm regular. I don't really have any reflux or bloating. Just because you're not having any symptoms doesn't mean there is no inflammation in the gut lining or that you're digesting that food the way that you should be. I always encourage, if you're interested in getting to the bottom of things, get to the gut testing. Another thing to take into account is most people aren't even aware of their symptoms until I actually ask them. I ask patients, do you ever bloat after meals? They initially told me they don't bloat, but when they think about it, there are some foods I don't feel my best with, and I do feel a little extra gassy. That's something that could be a sign that there's imbalance happening in the gut. Or perhaps that bowel movement that you're having that day is actually not from the food that you ate that day, but from food that you consumed several days back, and you just have a really sluggish digestive system. Long story short, when your gut struggles, your brain struggles as well. Okay, so if you're listening to all of this and you're like, this is overwhelming, where do I even begin? I've got you. First, you need data. No more guessing. Let's actually see what's happening in the body. Let's look at the hormones. Let's look at the vitamins. Let's look at your gut health as well to see where the issue is. This is not the kind of testing that your regular practitioner does. This is something you'd need collected with a functional practitioner. They're a lot more comprehensive with lab testing, plus they will also look at your gut health. Now, if comprehensive labs just seems far too out of reach right now, or even that sounds too overwhelming, let's start with the basics. Are you getting in enough sleep? Sleep is restorative and healing. Get that optimized. What about your diet? Are you eating out more? Is there more alcohol? Maybe even some soda involved? More processed foods? Clean that up. Inflammation in your food is inflammation in your gut, and it's inflammation in your brain. Maybe you're more sedentary. Great. This is an opportunity for you to improve that. Get up, move around, incorporate incline walking 20 minutes every single day, speed incline walk to really help improve your circulation. Circulation is also going to help remove toxins out of the body. I would also encourage that you manage your stress, whether that's through meditation, yoga. High amounts of stress can also create inflammation and elevation in insulin, which is going to impact your brain health. These basics will help, but they're not going to give you the root cause of your specific brain fog. So you're still going to be guessing, is it my hormones? Is it my vitamins? Is it my gut health? Maybe it's my thyroid. Maybe it's all of the above. And that's exactly why the personalized labs and treatment that we do with our patients is so important. Not only are we going to look at all of these markers and then some, but we're also going to help educate you about what's happening inside of your body. We're going to teach you how to optimize and fix some of the issues that you're seeing as well. We're not going to guess, ladies. We're going to test and we're going to come up with a customized plan to actually get you lasting results. If this is information that you found helpful and you enjoy it, go ahead and give me a like, subscribe to the channel so you can see more of these types of videos in the future. You don't have to accept brain fog as your new normal. You deserve to feel sharp, focused, and clear. So let's get to this, ladies, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.